my name is Nia. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're talking all about dyeing your locks. I have dyed my locks a total of 4 times. I know that sounds like lock suicide, but all my locks are still on my head. So, well, I guess except for that one that I did lose. But anywho, so this video is going to be broken up into 2 parts. One is just my experience with hair dyeing and how my locks in particular responded to the dye, and then 2 different tips and tricks that I learned from dyeing my hair a total of 4 times. So let's get right into it. So first I want to preface this by saying that everybody's hair will respond differently to chemicals. That's something I learned from a beautician of mine. She did my hair from the time I was like 6 to, the last time she did my hair I was probably like 20. And so she told me that everyone's hair responds differently to chemicals, and everyone's hair will experience some sort of damage when it comes to chemicals. So if you look at it under a microscope, you will see some sort of damage. And so, of course, hair dye is a chemical agent. So when you put it on your hair, you will probably experience some sort of damage. Whether or not that damage is visible or not, that all depends on the type of hair you have. Now, when it comes to me and hair dye, I dyed my hair when I was relaxed, and that was a hot mess. It was horrible. And then when I was natural, I dyed my hair again. That time I went to a professional, and my hair definitely there was some damage, there was some breakage. It got to be about this long, and I couldn't really get it to grow past that. And I also experienced a lot of breakage on my edges. And I absolutely love dyeing my hair. And so when I thought about getting locks, that's something that I was excited about. I thought that I would be able to dye my hair more with locks and experience less breakage. And to be honest, spoiler alert, that is true. I experienced way more issues with hair dye with my loose natural hair and with my relaxed hair than I have with my locks. And so the first time I dyed my locks, I used what I call the Beyonce box. This is it. I used the Dark and Lovely Honey Blonde. I just call it the Beyonce box because she has been on this box for 50,000 years and she kind of has a Beyonce look. Yeah, so I used that, and I dyed only about 1/4 of my hair. I wanted highlights in the front, but I was too afraid to have them all throughout my whole head, and I just wanted to try in the front, especially because my loctician told me it was too early for me to dye my hair. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I experienced much of any noticeable damage that first time at all. I don't think my loctician noticed it either. This was a certified loctician too. So I went to her one day and she was like, "Oh, your hair is doing this really pretty thing in the sun. It's lightening in the sun." And I didn't tell her I dyed my hair because I just heard way too many rumors about something going wrong with your hair, and then your loctician, if they know you did something, blaming it on you, and then you having to pay more money. So I was just like, yeah, it lightens up in the sun. And so the next time I went to see her, she didn't notice at all either. And she was like, "Oh, your hair is doing so well. You'll probably be ready for color soon." And so I was like, okay. And so that was the first time. Like I said, less than 1/4 of my hair, just some highlights up in the front. So I liked my hair so much, I decided to do it again. So this time I decided to go for it more. So I definitely dyed probably about half of my hair. I took the front half and I added highlights, and I kind of started them about right here and then went all the way down. Of course, my hair was shorter then, but that's what I did. And I left my dye on my hair longer. This time I used the whole box of dye. And I also used the Beyonce box again. I put a couple of highlights in the back so that they could kind of pop through right here, but it was primarily concentrated in the front. Now, as I was washing out the dye, the ends of my hair were breaking off in certain spots. It wasn't excessive, but I did notice it. And then when I came out of the shower and I was just kind of, raking through my hair, I did I don't know what I was doing. I think there was some lint or something on my hair. And so I pulled down and literally the end of my lock just snapped off. So I definitely noticed some damage with my second time dyeing my hair. I also noticed that my hair was quite a bit drier and it just didn't look as healthy. But in comparison to what you would experience, or in comparison to what I experienced with my loose natural hair, it was a walk in the park. There wasn't any significant breakage. The parts that were breaking off were about that small. I will say, in the front, my hair has locked, the ends have locked a lot slower. Like I still have some ends that are not locked, and I think that it is because of the hair dye. The hair dye altered the curl pattern. I noticed when I came out the second time that my curl pattern was definitely a lot looser on the locks that I had put the hair dye on. So that second time, I definitely saw what people were talking about, and I could only imagine if I was to dye my whole head, the type of negative effects that it would have had on my hair. Now, to be frank, if I would have liked the aesthetics, I think I would have just dealt with it, because to be honest, what the negative effects weren't that severe. I'm pretty sure I could have still grew my hair like all the way down my back if I wanted to, and still continued to bleach my hair with the Beyonce box, and I would have been fine. It would have worked. Yes, my hair was drier. Yes, there was a little bit of breakage, but after that first day, I didn't really notice any further breakage. I mean, nothing more than what you would typically see with your locks. So like I said, if I liked the aesthetics of it, I would have decided to continue to bleach my hair. But for some reason, around this December, something told me to just switch it up. And I have never had jet black hair. And I was seeing all these beautiful, like highly melanated, dark-skinned women with jet black hair, like Ryan Destiny. I love her. I think she's beautiful. And she has jet black hair. And so I was like, let me try this. And so I got another Dark and Lovely box, and I dyed my hair jet black and absolutely fell in love with it. This is what it looked like the day that I dyed it, and this was in this December. So it was December of 2019, and it is now July of 2020. And so this is what my hair looked like, and I absolutely loved it. My hair automatically looked more moisturized. It looked more shiny. It's something about this jet black hair. My hair just appears healthier, and I absolutely love it. And so my understanding of dyeing your hair black, you are not bleaching the hair. And so I really didn't notice any negative effects at all. And so then I dyed it again whenever, I think it was probably about maybe 6 months after my first time dyeing it. I noticed that the pieces of hair that I had bleached were starting to show back again, because when you're washing your hair, you're lifting the color. And so I dyed it again, easy peasy. There was really nothing I could say negative about that experience at all, other than my bathroom was a hot mess after. But completely love the jet black hair. If you haven't tried it, ladies, you may want to. I just feel kind of dark and sexy. So yeah, that's my experience with dyeing my hair. All right, so now we're getting into the tips to help you guys with your lock journey. So tip number 1, if you choose to dye your hair and you choose to bleach it, you are going to want to commit to some sort of moisturizing routine. So figure out what type of moisture works best for your locks, whether that be traditional locks, sister locks, micro locks, braid locks, and commit to that routine. Prioritize that routine, because you have just stripped your locks of that moisture. Now what I did was I do hot oil treatments. I also have a spray bottle with oils in it, and I spray that on my hair, and then sometimes I will coat my hair with oil through the shaft of the hair. I also use liquid-based leave-in conditioners. Now I do know I have seen quite a few individuals with traditional locks putting conditioner on their hair. I have never tried that. That's something that I'm a little bit fearful of, but talk to your locticians, talk to the experts, do research, and figure out if that's what's best for you. But I definitely believe that if you're going to take that moisture out of your hair, if you want your locks to thrive, you're going to have to put moisture back into your hair. So commit to a moisturizing routine. Tip number 2, do not underestimate the thickness of your locks. So I did that whenever I dyed my hair jet black. I knew I was going to do my whole head, and for some reason on camera I feel like my hair doesn't look as thick as it truly is. Guys, my ponytails are like that thick around. So I bought 1 box of hair dye, and I had to ask my husband to run to the store while I still had hair dye on my head to get another box. That hair dye was just like disappearing, and I wasn't even I wasn't even like trying to saturate it into the locks. That's another tip. You don't want to do that because then those chemicals are embedded in your locks. You just want to coat the top of your locks with the hair dye. So I just coated the top of my locks with the hair dye, and it was not enough for one box was not enough. So if you have like shoulder length locks like me, and actually whenever I dyed my hair it was a lot shorter, it was probably like maybe to here, you'll probably need more than one box of hair dye. If you have super long locks, honey, you probably gonna need like 3 or 4 boxes of hair dye because it just goes by that fast. All right, the third and final tip. If you are going to choose to dye your hair, especially with bleach, know that your locks will more than likely change. I feel like there's a better chance of your locks changing than them not changing. And you guys need to think about, is that something that you want before you commit to dyeing your hair? Now, like I said, what I experienced with the bleach was not enough to deter me from not doing it again. I even have thought about, once my hair gets longer, dyeing the ends of my hair and doing like an ombre-like look, because yes, my hair was damaged. Yes, there was some breakage, but was it enough for me to like not go for it again? No. So I know that if I was to put more bleach on my hair, then I would definitely experience some breakage, definitely experience some dryness. But for the look though, I do it again. But right now I'm definitely feeling the jet black. I'm going to keep it jet black at least until my hair is bra strap length, because I can't see myself dyeing my hair again until I could get like a really full like ombre effect. So that's that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the love and support. And I wanted to say to anybody who commented on my video that I did about the lowest point in my lock journey, I have truly been touched by you guys' comments. They have really, truly touched my soul. And I feel like we are cultivating just an amazing little community on this channel. So thank you guys so much. Peace and blessings to all of you guys.